I just want to go ahead and jump in to the interview with our last guest because you do so many things. I'm like, how many hats can one person wear? Let's bring in Dr. Dima El-Gamal. You're the Capital Improvement Planning Director for the Great Lakes Water Authority, but you do so many other things on top of your professional life. Before we jump into some of your other advocacy work, can we talk a little bit about your position, but also being a female in the world of engineering?
Good morning. Good morning, Ronnie. Thank you for having me. Yeah, engineering is a little bit of a challenging world for a female. It is. I just joined actually GLWA, Great Lakes Water Authority, recently on April 19, a very exciting position as a Capital Improvement Planning Director. Before that, I was a principal for a consulting firm for 23 years out of Ann Arbor, and it is a very exciting field for females. It's a male-dominated field, as you just mentioned, but it is a really interesting and really fun profession. We have the brains for it, I tell you. I was working as a principal for a while, and my line of work was civil engineering. So I work on master planning, on funding, design, construction, and my line of work was majorly with municipalities. So I work with townships, with cities, and majorly on water and wastewater infrastructure. So basically, all the hidden infrastructure was my specialty. We work on getting water to all our residents and taking the water away from them. So it's a really interesting line of work, and we take pride in making sure that there is no service interruption or there is no flooding in people's residents.
As someone who has covered so many water issues throughout Metro Detroit, from the constant flooding in some of our neighborhoods to the Flint water crisis, but then also, I was very fortunate to go to Kenya and do a story about some of the work that is being done there. And you have such an appreciation for water, and I think it's really come to the forefront here for all of us with the Flint water crisis. So your position with the Great Lakes Water Authority, what do you hope to do there?
So being the Capital Improvement Director, I will be responsible for the 10-year asset, work that we will be responsible for as far as capital improvement projects. Great Lakes Water Authority has $1 billion worth of capital improvement projects for within the next 5 years on water side and wastewater sides. We have 5 water treatment plants, 1 huge wastewater treatment plants, and a tremendous infrastructure. We serve 3.9 million people. So the intention is to make sure that whether it's a new project that is needed or it's an operation or maintenance project that is needed, that we are on top of it. And we are making sure that there is no service interruption for our partner communities. And partner communities are all the, what's the Bloomfields of the world, are the Bloomfields, the Waynes, the Detroits, and you call it, it's a huge spread of communities and municipal services.
I love that you are heading up this project. Do you feel like you're an inspiration, a role model for other young women looking to go into engineering?
There is a lot of inspirational females in the field, and I take pride that I am one of them. You gotta love what you do, and you gotta do what you love. So this is something that is very important, and I think women are going to be the next leaders in the field, and there's a lot of push toward that, and I'm hoping that as we grow in the profession, you're going to see a lot of leadership up in the STEM field in general, not only engineering.
And what's, it's the old saying, if I see it, I can be it. And you are really a motto of that. Dr. Dima El-Gamal with us here on the MegaCast. She's the Capital Improvement Planning Director for the Great Lakes Water Authority. But outside even your professional life, you are also an advocate for Muslims and Arab Americans here in the United States. Do you want to talk a little bit about your other work?
So I wear a lot of scarves. I don't call them hats. So
I love that, by the way. That's a great way to put it.
And I take pride in community service because we got to give back. We take a lot from what the American dream gives us, and we are part of the fabric of the society as Muslims and as American citizens. So I am appointed to the Planning Commission at West Bloomfield Township, and I take pride at giving back to the township through that position. And I'm also, through the Muslim community, I take pride in being part of the interfaith committee at the Muslim Unity Center of Bloomfield Hills on Square Lake. I hope everyone knows that, and if you don't, please get familiar with that. And I'm also part of their Civic Engagement Committee, which educates the community about their civic engagement duties and their civic engagement rights. Under the interfaith committee, we try to build bridges with the community and with our neighbors and friends, because you gotta understand and you gotta have knowledge about your neighbors to be able to be friends and to be able to you gotta know who your peers are. You gotta know who your friends in school are to be able to build bridges with them. And we have great relationships with schools. We have great relationships with other institutions, religious institutions, and that makes a huge difference. Other hats I wear is through Wayne State University. I'm on their advisory board because that's where I graduated from. And I'm also, I have a great passion for inclusion and diversity. So I am on Wayne State's Inclusion and Diversity Committee as well. There's a lot of other scarves as well, but I don't think you have enough time for them.
I am going to say, you must have a lot of extra time in the day. I'm like, how do you manage all of this?
Well, I go by the saying, volunteers don't necessarily have the time, but they do have the heart. That's an Elizabeth Andrew quote. Don't ask me where I find the time. It just comes out.
And on top of it, you're a mother.
I'm a mother of two, and my two kids are now, one of them is 22, I'm 21. And my daughter is she's 19. So I take pride in one of them going to Wayne State just like I did. And the other one is a U of M, Go Blue. He's graduating next week. So life is good.
My niece is graduating next week at U of M as well. So maybe I'll see you at the ceremony, but it's virtual for the parents, so we won't. But
wonderful. Congratulations. Dr.
Dima El-Gamal with us here on the MegaCast. She is the Capital Improvement Planning Director for the Great Lakes Water Authority. Can I ask you, how has the past year been for you? On so many different levels. You switch jobs, you're doing your advocacy work, but you're also a mother at the same time. How are you doing?
So past year had, I can say it has gone with mixed emotions. It was a little bit tough and challenging. The pandemic has not been easy, but at the same time, I did see the light at the end of the tunnel, or I did see the silver lining from the pandemic, because it did bring us closer as a family. It did get us to a different level of connection, with teenagers and almost adults now within the family. We did not have the connection that we had before. I had a senior who graduated without a graduation its real graduation party. She did not have the entire graduation ceremonies that a senior would go through. But at the same time, we grew up resilient as a family. As Muslims, we went through, this is our second Ramadan. And by the way, Ramadan Mubarak, blessed Ramadan to all, to everyone who is hearing, who is of the Muslim faith tradition. We did not connect with our faith institutions the same way that we connect every year. We did not have our prayers in our, in our mosques, and we replaced the in-person rituals with the screen rituals. These were tough times. These were challenging times. And I'm not going to say they were depressing, but they were a little bit tough on a lot of people. But at the same time, they did get us more closer. We did invent ways to connect. FaceTime was a lifesaver. But
I didn't even know what Zoom was before all of this.
Oh my goodness. Even through work, I can tell you since March 10 of last year, my entire work life was through Zoom, through Teams, through Google Meets, and we still survived. We still did work, and we still made money, and we still met our bottom line. So I think where there is a will, there is a way, and people will survive. But I really hope that we get back to the in-person life again, and people stay safe, and people stay, survive this and come out resilient, and know how to deal with these challenges and value what we had before.
So with that, Dr. Dima, can I ask you, do you think because of the pandemic, we've all come to appreciate Mother Nature so much more throughout this pandemic? Do you think in the long run, this could really help raise awareness about some of the work that you and members of your team are doing?
I definitely think that everyone is going to have a lot of appreciation for everything that surrounds them. The smallest thing, I looked back on the smallest communication that we used to have in person. The first responders, a lot of things that people used to do and you take for granted. Now we should have a lot of appreciation to that. And I think even people will have more appreciation to the people that are working outside and making sure that our life continue to function. And hopefully there will be more compassion as well for others. And I think things will get back to normal, hopefully within time, but we just need to stick together and continue to have the compassion.
Well, one thing we've all learned that we're not separate. We are all connected. And if anything, the pandemic is a constant reminder of that. My breath impacts your breath. It doesn't matter our background. So hopefully it opens up our hearts to people of different backgrounds and different worlds and religions. But with that, can I ask just about another minute or two here with you? What advice would you give to other young women that feel like the world of engineering or STEM, those jobs which are so male dominated, are off limits to them?
So my advice to them is don't get intimidated. The sky is the limit. Someone like me who has been working for 23 years for the same employer, I changed because of you. I read Powering Up by Ann Doyle, and I was swimming. I was the frog that was swimming in luke water and very comfortable, but I changed to give you the idea that you gotta be a leader and you gotta move on and make sure that leadership is open and you gotta break the glass ceiling. So there's always a seat for you on the table, and you gotta make sure that the opportunities are there and you can make it, because a lot of us are there and we are opening that door for you. And we're here so we can support you. Find a mentor, find a champion, My mentors opened the door for me. I appreciate them. And you too will find someone who will guide you in the future.
How do you get so passionate about this arena?
I love it. I love what I do. And when you do your project and when you finish the project, you look back, you see the satisfaction, you see your clients appreciate you, you see what you finish. That's the ultimate satisfaction, is what you do and what you finish. And again, if you love what you do and you do what you love, you will have the satisfaction.
Dr. Dima El-Gamal with us here on the MegaCast. She's the Capital Improvement Planning Director for the Great Lakes Water Authority. Just a few seconds left. Anything maybe I didn't ask that you want to add before we say goodbye for the day?
I just want to thank you for having me today. And, like I said, Ramadan Mubarak to everyone who is celebrating. And thank you for everything you guys are doing. Appreciate it.
Well, and by the way, what's your son studying?
My son is trying to take his MCAT. He just finished U of M biochemistry.
Oh, he might be in some of my niece's classes. We should talk afterwards. So Wonderful. Tell him the best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. We're so lucky to have you as a leader here in our community, not just in the world of engineering, the work that you're doing on that side, but also your advocacy work for Muslims and Arab Americans here in the Metro Detroit area. I live right around the corner from the Unity Center, so maybe I'll have to stop over one day.
Wonderful. We look forward to having you. Thank you, Ronnie. Have a great day.
Thank you again, and happy weekend to you and to your family as well. And congratulations again to your son. I'm sure it's been a long journey for him. So
it is, and it went by so swiftly. I don't know how life is going, but it's been a great journey at U of M.